Like he was like, well, I was just taking pictures. No, bro, she was over here grinding her ass on you, and you got your hands right where her ass is. Like
Yep.
I don't know if anybody else saw it, but his hand was right there. So you
Like
was doing
between his
something, bro.
legs, kind of slouched. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, come
Yep.
on, bro. Like you, Urban Meyer was over here trying to go get him some, and he ain't think he was gonna get caught. I have really tight curls, but yeah, he'll throw out.
Hell yeah. How's your pup doing?
She doing all right. She chilling right here, bro. I let her in the bed with me, and she like my bed is really high
Mm-hmm.
off the ground. Like my hip pretty much meets at the top of like my mattress, so it's relatively high.
Yep.
Jumped off my bed at like 5:30 this morning, so like that was probably her inclination. Like, hey, I gotta go use the bathroom. But I'm like, bro, what are you trying to commit suicide? You just be jumping down shit like that's a big ass
Yeah,
jump for a
yeah. Yep.
like, and I'm ready to risk it all. I gotta go.
That's right, man. I remember the same thing when mine was a pup too. I got rid of my box spring because I was just too scared. I was like, you can't be like jumping up and down off this shit. It's it's a fall to your death. But is she like, how's like the growing? Is she like pretty much where she's gonna be, or she still got like?
I don't know, bro. Like she's gotten pretty big
Isn't it
since I
crazy looking at pictures of her when you had her when she was like a puppy, and you're like, damn, bro,
like
you grew quick.
really like well, I realized that when I got her groomed
Mm-hmm.
because she was just covered in fur. So I was like, I got her groomed. I was like, oh shit, like you grew for real.
Yeah.
Or it's just a fur ball, but no, she's gotten pretty big, but um like she's gotten a lot better, like you said, with just the whole potty training stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And now we just kind of have like a schedule to where now it's just like
Yep.
this is what we do. It's natural. So, and then I take her. There's like a daycare that's right up the street from my house,
Nice.
and because she's a puppy, they only charge me like $10 a day
That's
for like a
it.
full day thing. But like when she goes there, she's worn out. Like she's
Yep.
exhausted. All she wants to do come home, eat, and nap. And I'm like, bet, because that's what I'm about to do too.
You're right.
So
Yeah, it's a good investment for $10. Just get them
it
to.
is.
Yep. That's
So
what's
yeah,
nice though. Those puppy naps, they just like zonk and they're out for a little while.
out.
Yeah.
But I needed her not to sleep by my face though, because them dog farts is lethal, bro.
Yeah. Disgusting. Disgusting. And they love doing that, like curling up in that ball, like right where like your partner pillow would be, and just like dropping their ass right there. And it's like, dude, get the
Like,
fuck
come
out
on,
of here.
don't
You
do
can
that.
sleep at the feet.
That
Yeah.
part. So
Well,
yeah,
I'm glad that you. Oh, what was that noise? Did you hear that?
that was my phone.
Mm.
Anyway,
Wow. All right. Yeah, that's what's up though. I'm glad you let her sleep in bed with you. Some people are very much like, well, yours doesn't shed though, right? So that
no,
probably
she doesn't
helps.
shed. Yeah, she's hypoallergenic, so she doesn't shed.
Yeah.
And like I have a comforter and everything that's just strictly her, so that way she's not like, I don't know. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, that's nice. I can't even imagine. I have to like literally like it's every couple days. It's just like a body's worth of hair is like all over my house, and I just gotta. Yeah, man, that's not fun. That's you,
Oh,
little
that's funny.
bitch.
Like my old roommate used to have a dog and this shit, and I used to tell him like, bro, you can't just let like 2 days go by and you don't sweep this shit up. It's
Yeah.
disgusting.
You can't exactly. You got to stay on top of it. Otherwise, it just gets. Especially if people come over, you just look like a hobo if you don't, get in there
Seriously.
and do what you got to do. Dude, I want to. I mean, first of all, we got some shocks, but I want to go over like who we think our top 5 is, and then we'll pull up that list and see how it compares to what we
Oh,
think
you
it's
talking about
going to
like a
be.
power ranking?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And bro, hold on. I don't know if you saw it,
Ooh,
but
Urban
we
Meyer.
gotta talk about.
That dude,
Oh,
man.
we can definitely talk about Urban Meyer over here.
What
But
were you gonna say though?
we gotta talk about our girl Clarissa Shields.
Yeah.
I don't know
Oh.
if you heard her interview and the comments she made about Jake Paul.
Was it on Mike Tyson's podcast?
I don't know if it was Mike Tyson's podcast, but it was another podcast, and yeah, we'll get into it.
Okay. Where you want to start? You want to do NFL?
Yeah, we can start with the NFL.
Okay. Man, first of all, Arizona's for real, man.
Big
Holy
series,
shit.
bro.
I didn't think so. I really was like, like that thought they'd be good, but now I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah.
What?
I mean, it's just now they seem to have like a, a defense,
Yeah, they really do. A pass
right?
rush, secondary looks good all around. Seriously, there's no part of that team so far that I've watched and been like they're struggling there. Like they're just firing on all cylinders right
Yeah.
now. You know,
And so, like, it's, I
and
mean, that
the Rams, man, to do that to the Rams,
they
like,
handled them. They
yeah, like wasn't close. Like it wasn't a blowout, but it was like they, like you said, just handled them. That was nuts.
and it wasn't a situation where like Murray was throwing the ball 50 times,
Mm-mm.
right? Where like it's this whole air raid thing, like uh, what was it? I don't know what's the guy's name, Edmonds.
Chase Edmonds and James Conner were
Yeah,
just taking it to him,
going
man.
off, but like Edmonds rushed for 120 yards off of 12 rushes.
Yeah, man. And
Like,
Conner
and you
had
don't
two
expect that to
touchdowns.
happen against the Rams.
No, exactly. And Conner had two touchdowns too, man. Both the running backs
Yeah,
balled out.
like they were just they just look. I think now what it is that was a missing piece of that team was like they didn't have any pass rush. Like that D line just wasn't really that good.
Mm-hmm.
But now that they've gotten wide and they've just kind of solidified some of those pieces there, and you already add to the fact that you got Buda Baker in the secondary. Like
Yep.
that's a very formidable team, man.
I agree, man. It'll be interesting to see them second time around with the Rams, but like as of right now, bro, they got. I mean, for me, they're number one in the power rankings.
Yeah.
Do I think they're going to win the Super Bowl? No, but like if we're just basing it off, what's going on right now, it's them, bro.
Yeah,
They're it.
I'm the same. Like I feel like they have to be number one just based off of like, that win was impressive.
Mm-hmm.
That win was impressive, and they still beat. They beat the Titans week one and handled them. Like pretty much all their games have been like 10 points or more, or 2 scores or more, except for what was it that one game against the Vikings or something like that, where I'm not sure if it went into overtime or not, but other than that, they've been handling teams.
Exactly, bro. Yeah, Vikings, they're like an iffy team, and the Jags actually aren't that good, and I was surprised that they kind of hung in with them for a minute. But yeah, I mean, they, like you said, it's always been a 2-score ending, and they've just, I don't know. Oh, they're playing the Niners this week. I'm supposed to go to this game, so this will be a good test too, because that's a tough division, bro. Every time I look at it, it's like I don't like. I forget, and I'm like, holy crap, man! This whole division is just anyone could beat each other at any given time.
Loaded, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think that's what just one of maybe 2 divisions that don't have a team with a losing record.
Yep.
And it's that one, and the other one, of course, is the one with the Chargers and the Raiders, like the AFC West. Like both of those West divisions,
yep.
Like teams are just really good.
They really are, man.
All right. I mean, I don't think anyone expected Denver to be this good, but
no, man, that's crazy too, and it's so early too, because it's only we're like almost a quarter of the way through. So there's some teams like I still. Bro, like the Panthers are like I still don't know about them either, even though like they're I don't like they look good, but I'm gonna still need to see a couple more weeks before I can really make like a strong statement on like how I feel about that team as a whole.
Yeah, I mean they try to come. I think that what I think was like there was a defensive letdown in that game against the Cowboys for the Panthers, but I mean, you let them put up 20, I think it was in the third quarter.
Yep.
Like you're not going to win a game and you give up that many points.
No.
So I think it was just a bit of a defensive letdown, but I mean, the game was still competitive in the end. So
yeah, exactly.
I think at 2, I mean. The Chargers look nice. The Bills look nice. Like, there's a couple of teams that are up, and like the Bengals are 3-1.
Yeah, man, exactly. So it's like that's the thing. It's like, do you base it more? Is it a mixture, or are you just doing like what's going on currently, or is it a mixture of like who you still think's like the most talented? Like, what are you basing yours off of?
I think for me right now, it's like who they've beaten, and then again, like who's still kind of like the most talented. So
Right.
I would say for two, I would go with either the Bills or probably Tampa Bay.
Okay.
I would put at two.
Interesting. Yeah, I still got the Rams just because they beat the Bucks, and I got the Bucks at 3. But I mean, I get it. The Rams just lost, and the Bucks just won. However, I couldn't believe how close that game was with the Bucks and the Patriots. Man, that was crazy to me. I thought they were going to smack the shit out of them. Like I did not, you know.
And now that you mentioned that, yeah, I may have to agree.
Yeah.
So this is what I would do. I would go Cardinals, Rams, Bills, then Bucks.
Okay, I like that. Do you still have the Browns in there?
Yeah, I think Cowboys. I'm not completely. The Cowboys are looking nice. I'm just not. I think defensively, I think we all know that the Browns are far and above what the Cowboys are. So I'd probably put the Browns at 5.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I think especially Cowboy fans, they're freaking out because Parsons looks good, and who's the guy that's intercepting all those Trayvon Diggs? Is that his name?
Yeah,
he's going nuts. He looks good. I'm going Cards, Rams, Bucks, Browns, and then it's tough. Like for me, it's like the Bills are right there. My head, I'm like, how can I like not even think about the Chiefs too? You know, it's like I get the record doesn't show it, but it's like it's the Chiefs. Like so that's hard for me. The Cowboys look good.
I mean,
I don't know,
you
man.
still think like you got the Ravens beat the Chiefs.
I know. Yeah.
Right. So like you still have the Ravens that are there. Oh. And heads up, Lamar leads the league in passing yards.
Does he really?
Yes.
That's very interesting. So he took Carr, huh? Raiders looked good too until this week, and then the Chargers.
I'm sorry, no, he doesn't lead the league in passing yards.
Who does? Is it Carr?
Yeah, it is Carr. But Lamar, I think, is like 12th, right? So like he's fallen where I think people probably didn't expect him to.
Yeah, that is interesting. I'm sure like Kyler's up there, Brady's up there.
Yeah. Well, then the thing about it is that like out of the people that are up here, like I think he has like the second fewest attempts as far as individuals in the top 20.
Who, Lamar?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt that. They do run him. I don't know. It's this hard.
I stick with my 5.
Yeah, I like your 5. My 5th is just really. Yeah, I'm probably gonna say Bills at 5 just because of like after that first game, their momentum has looked really good. And if the Chiefs' record just reflected it, like they would be a no-brainer top 5. But it's just like it's just crazy to think they've already lost 2 out of their first 4. Like that's nuts. And, it did look good last week, though. I will say that.
Yeah, and I'll say I think you definitely can make a claim for Cleveland because honestly, outside of like that first game, the Bills really hasn't played anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Miami and Tua got hurt. Washington football team and the Texans without Tyrod Taylor.
Yep.
So like they really haven't outside of that first game, they really haven't had anyone. So I mean I may have kind of convinced myself not to go with the Bills and kind of sub in the Browns there.
Yeah. And the Browns loss they didn't lose last week or did they?
No, they didn't lose, but I mean they lost to the Chiefs week 1. And
remember, which was barely.
They had the lead.
Yeah.
Going into like the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and they fell apart. Exactly. They looked really good, my man. I'm gonna agree. Let's go find what they've got on the internet for us and see if they agree.
So it's just some of these teams where you're like who expected the Bengals to be 3-1 right now, bro? Like the Steelers to be 1-3.
Yep. I wouldn't have, and I can't believe that the Bills lost to them week 1. That was surprising.
Yeah.
Like you said, they haven't played anyone, and they lost that one. All right, let's see what they got for us. They got to have Arizona 1. Like, there's no way.
No, yeah.
Bills, bro. Wow. That's surprising, man. That's very
That is
surprising.
really surprising because they're not like the competition as far as the teams that they played aren't
No, man, I agree.
comparable to the Cardinals, especially after they just had the Rams ranked number one, and then the Cardinals go and not only beat them, they smacked them,
Exactly, exactly.
and they don't have them number one. That's crazy.
Yeah, and I'm surprised. I'm sure they got. Yeah, the Rams are still 3.
So then, how do
Um,
they? What?
yeah, I don't know about that, my man. I don't know if they have like a voting system or if this is just someone that wrote this, that like this is just their opinion piece or what. But it looks like I don't know.
That's
They
weird.
right.
So who do they have at four?
Tampa
Tampa Bay.
Bay,
Okay, and then
Green
who's at
Bay.
five?
I
Yeah, I
mean,
think
Green
we are
Bay's
kind of.
on. You
We're.
know,
I think we did kind of forget about Green Bay just because
yeah,
of that week one embarrassment. They've been. I mean, they've been really, really solid over in those last couple of weeks, and that game against the Niners was a hell of a game,
it was. Rodgers looked vintage in that game, man.
man.
That was a
Like that was
fantastic
a
one.
hell of a game. So, and I mean, they just handled the Lions. Um, so I get who they got coming up. They got the Bengals, the Bears, and then Washington, and then they have a matchup with the Cardinals on the 28th.
Yeah, so that'll be a good game for sure.
But I don't think I could put them over Cleveland though.
Me neither. They're next.
Just yeah, I don't think I definitely can put them over. Put the Packers over Cleveland.
Baltimore looks good too, man. I didn't think about it until you said it, but being 3-1, they beat the Chiefs. They've had some big wins, and they were your dark horse to make it to the Super Bowl. So like
They are. I mean, I
and
just think
who would have thought, like you said, the Steelers would be the bottom of that division right now, and the Bengals would be 3-1.
like nobody expected that, bro.
Nah, hell
But I
no.
think you and I both kind of like, and I had to look at like my notes, but I'm pretty sure one of us said that like the Steelers weren't going to be that. Like we
I
felt
didn't
like
think they
like
would.
borderline a playoff team.
Yeah, I didn't think they would. I remember because I think they won. Last year was the year they won like their first 10 or 11, right?
11, yeah,
And then they
first
lost
11.
like 4 or 5 out of 6 or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, I remember saying that. Yeah, I thought, they won 10 or 11 immediately last year. I don't think they'd win 10 games this season. And yeah, I guess it's showing, man. I still didn't think they'd be the worst in the division. I didn't see the Bengals maturing this quickly, I still thought they'd be the bottom. And who knows, it's young, but what a start, man. 3-1 for this team that like had absolutely zero expectations.
Right. And like they beat the Steelers by 2 touchdowns in Pittsburgh.
Yep. They got some offensive firepower, man.
Man. Like
what's his name? The running back finally looks good, not injured.
Mixon?
Yep, Mixon. Obviously, Jamar Chase and what's the other dude's name? Boyd, is that his name? They got 2 good receivers.
Tyler Boyd.
Yeah. It's and then Burrow's a beast, man. I think he's like, he was such a plug-in quarterback right into the league. They're looking good. And I can't argue with either of those. There's so many 3-1 teams right now, bro. It's hard
I wouldn't mind putting the Chargers above the Cowboys again, just kind of based off of who they've beaten.
Yeah, I agree.
Right? Like I think you have to. I think I would definitely just based off of them beating the Raiders, them beating the Chargers. Like I would put them above Dallas.
Yeah, no, I could see those two being switched to. Yeah, just them beating the Raiders last week, and it was like pretty convincing until the Raiders do what they do every week so far, man. They've like played horrible in the first half and then like came alive in the second half and kind of scared them for a minute. But that's credit to the Chargers too. I don't know if you were watching that game, like they put up those 2 quick touchdowns, and I was like, okay, the momentum is completely to the Raiders now. And then like credit to the Chargers for just like on that next possession, just like slamming the door again and scoring another touchdown.
It was a wrap after that. Like it.
Yep.
They look in like right now. If you're looking at like we kind of mentioned this after like the last week when we said like MVP race, but if you're looking at an MVP race right now, you'd be hard pressed not to put Herbert into that right now.
Like that top 3-5 area.
Like he has to be, man. He has to be. Dude is looking nice. He has complete control over that offense, and you could tell like he seriously goes into that field and he just got serious swagger, bro.
He does, man. Just like confidence, poise. Like he doesn't look like he's gonna make bad decisions. He doesn't rush anything. He, like you said, just control. Like he looks great, man. We're gonna after the top 10 here. Let's see who this is. Yeah, the Raiders. I guess that makes sense. So let's talk about that. Like if we had 5 players right now, for me they're like all quarterbacks, which I guess usually they are. But like, yeah, Herbert, Kyler Murray, Stafford. Those 3 honestly are right there for me. And then after that, kind of gets hard. I don't really know who I'd throw.
Yeah, I mean, I would say definitely. So you like Murray, Herbert, Stafford. I mean, you can Miles Garrett.
Yeah,
like,
seriously.
He's having a monster start to the year, right? Like he's seriously having a monster start to the year.
Yeah.
So just from a defensive standpoint, you can definitely throw him in there.
Yeah.
Let's see. And I don't know.
I mean, would you put Josh Allen up there? Like,
I mean, I think you almost kind of have to, just because of how. I mean, the Bengals are playing really well. So I feel like he would be a piece in there. So I think that would be my 5 that I would go with. So yeah, Stafford, Herbert, Murray, Miles Garrett, and Josh Allen.
Yeah, I'm there with you. I don't think what's his name? Homeboy for the Bengals. Burrow. I don't think his numbers are good enough right now.
Yeah,
but like they have great team success. So who knows what'll happen, my man. I don't see like Brady winning it or anything like that. I don't think Rodgers will win it 2 years in a row. It's those 5 are like to me pretty clearly far above, and that would be so cool to see a defensive player win it, man. I would love to see that.
If he it's gonna be difficult, but if he can kind of keep on this tear that he's on right now,
yep.
I don't see how they would be able to just give it, because dude is just like
killing it,
man.
Absolutely killing it. I don't even know what to say. It's just scary. Like you watch him, like I would be afraid. That's why I laughed when you said his name, because I'm like, dude, that dude's a scary man. And then I'm like, I'm not even playing, bro. Can you imagine like going up against him? Like,
did you see? There was a clip. Somebody recorded this, and I wonder if I can find it to send it to you. But he moved so damn fast, it looked like it was a glitch in the video. But it was playing in real time. But he moved so fast, it looked like a glitch, bro. I'm gonna have to send it to you, and maybe you can post it along with the recording. But like, bro, I'm like,
yeah,
it was like some Matrix shit, dog. Like
that's like week 1. When was it? Lamar was running, and Chase Young was like running like just coming after him, or maybe it was a running back. Whoever the Washington football team played week 1, like Chase Young, the same thing. It's like, how do you have that speed for that size, man?
It's fucking insane, bro.
I'm
like, how do you move that fast, especially being at that position?
It doesn't even make sense,
like,
bro.
And like as an offensive lineman, how do you guard somebody that's moving that damn fast, bro?
You don't. You just pray, man. You just pray. I'll tell you what, though, and like obviously we're gonna get into Herb, but like first of all, their team, like I don't think anyone really expected much out of them, but like Jacksonville still just looks rough. It's so surprising to me that Trevor Lawrence looks as rough as he is. I would have thought, even though the team around him was bad, I did not expect him to look so out of pocket, and just out of like control. Like he looks lost out there sometimes.
I don't know if it's really him or the fact that, like, who does he have to give the ball? Like, he has no weapons, bro.
Definitely.
Like, I get it. He has, like, Laviska Shenault, right? Like, who's a decent receiver, but what else do you have outside of that, bro?
Not a whole lot.
Jamal Agnew, Tavon Austin.
What's his name? Robinson's all right, the running back, but nothing special.
Okay. Yeah, like, but he doesn't. I mean, he got Marvin Jones Jr., who's a decent, like, he was a decent quarterback, a receiver. But, bro,
there's not much there.
Yeah, no. So
it's just more the interceptions, I guess, that have surprised me.
Yeah, I mean, that's That unfortunately, I mean, I think it just kind of comes with it, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
Peyton Manning broke the record for the most interceptions for a season, right? And then one of the all-time great quarterbacks. So I don't think we can judge him too much on that.
Yeah.
I think it's just going to come with time. Um, but I'm
Plus, you got your coach over there grinding on chicks in the bar after the game, man. Like,
uh,
how can you?
so we got to talk about. Wait, so this is what I found to be funny. Like he he was like, well, I was just taking pictures. No, bro, she was over here grinding her ass on you, and you got your hands right where her ass is. Like
Yep.
I don't know if anybody else saw that, but his hand was right there. So you
Like
was doing
between his
something,
legs,
bro.
kind of slouched. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like come
Yep.
on, bro. Like Urban Meyer was over here trying to go get him some, and he ain't think he was gonna get caught.
You know what someone else brought up, and it's like I didn't even think about this, but what's crazy is so they're playing the Bengals. They're back in Ohio. He didn't go home with the team. He just stayed. Like that's like
Yeah,
unprecedented. Like you don't do
yeah.
that. Like what? Who are you to do that, man? Like
That's
you
why
just
he
lost.
had plans. He
Yeah.
had plans.
He's like, shit, man. 0-4.
Like
I need to get some ass.
right, that that part
Holy
right there.
shit. That's
Like
probably
I know
a.
I can give me a quick. I know I can give me. Let me call one of my old swerves. Let me hit one of them up real quick. Meet me up.
Yep.
Hey, meet me up here at this bar real quick.
I think it was his bar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. It's probably a 10th household over in the Meyer household right now, man. Holy shit, bro. Herb, man. Like, I guess I don't understand, like, celebrity athletes, whatever, at that point. Like, you're going to be on camera, bro. Like, as soon as someone sees some shit going down with you, they're going to record you. Like, how do you not think of that? You know,
have
like,
to be more careful, bro.
yeah.
Have to be more careful. Get the hotel room and go in at separate times. Like,
That's
come
right.
on.
Yep.
Like, you been doing. Listen, I don't care what Urban Meyer been doing this for too long not to know how to slide a chick into your room to get some ass. Like, let's just stop acting like.
You're so right, bro.
Bro, come on.
You're
now.
so right. Do you think they lose a couple more weeks and then he's just like on the chopping block, or do you think they're gonna stick with him?
I think he'll make it through the season, but like you just look at these. It's just fucking thing. One thing, he's hiring the coach, right? That had like whole that thing, right? Then he's over here talking about. Then you bring on Tim Tebow, as far as like a fucking tight end, right? Then the whole part of our decisions that we're making is whether or not a player gets the vaccination.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You're not supposed to be saying. And then now this, like it
doesn't look good. Does
at
not
all,
look good.
bro.
Not a good start, bro. Holy crap! Like the losing is one thing, but yeah, all that other stuff, it's like
you gotta calm all that down.
Yeah, I mean, like, but the Lions look just as bad, bro. It's like as much as I want to look at the Jags, it's like, holy shit, that was probably the like, man. You know, there's usually a game every season, as someone from Detroit, where you go, all right. Like it's okay, this is another one of those seasons, and like I think that was this week for me. Like seriously, I was
bro,
like, you know,
I was watching the game with my grandpa, and I'm like, the Lions just find a way to beat the Lions, bro. Yep. They just find a way to beat the Lions.
Exactly, man. It was just like one of those games where you go, that's it. Like it's this season's probably lost.
It's looking real old and 17-ish.
Yeah,
like it's getting real sketchy, bro.
Oh man, Stafford's like, whoo, baby. That's
man, okay. I'm glad I got out of there when I did.
God, man. Holy shit. That's just such a bad and you look at that little situation and you just kind of analyze it and you're like, yeah, man, like what could he have because look how good he's playing now. Granted, didn't play the best last week, but it's like not even a single really good players being the quarterback, especially that they control the ball so much, can make that much of an impact on them. Like he did what he could for them, and they at least were winning games. But man, as soon as he was gone and they went to nothing, shit, it's over.
Well, then
bro.
I'm not gonna lie, there is a depletion of talent at the wide receiver spot.
Yeah.
right? Like at least when he was there, he had Golden Tate, he had Marvin Jones Jr.
Calvin for the first half of his career.
Right, he had Calvin, so there was some talent there. We have Quintez Cephas.
I was literally about to say he's probably our best receiver right now.
Like seriously, he is. Right? But
actually probably Hockenson, but he's not really.
But Hockenson is really like our best option. Between him and Swift.
Yeah.
So it's unfortunately it's just a little bit of a depletion, and then I don't know if we depend upon our running game enough to really exploit it.
Right. And like I will say, like if we're happy with Swift, which he looks good so far, and we want to keep rolling with him, the O-line looks good. I think if we're talking about just draft priority for next year, it's got to be a receiver. Obviously, defense always. Lions could always go for some defense, but like get a stud receiver next year, someone to kind of open up the field a little more. So
they have to find somebody that can stretch the field.
Yeah,
because I feel like Cephas is like a slot receiver, but they need to find somebody that's like a burner that can go and break off in the defense.
You're so right, bro. Like a slot receiver that like they have such a depletion of talent, like you said, to now this dude's our number one receiver when he should be lining up in between a tight end and like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like it's like and the best receiver. It's just not okay, man. It's just not.
So and then it doesn't help. Ragnow injured. Okora I think he's gone. He tore his Achilles.
Yeah.
So like now we're starting to where we're relatively strong at. Now Okora's on the D line, but we're relatively strong at with that O line. Like Ragnow losing him, that I don't know how long he's going to be out because it's a toe injury.
Mm-hmm.
But like that's a big hole.
Definitely is. It really is, man. I don't know. I hope he comes back soon. I maybe, but my stepbrother said this in our group chat. He was like, maybe it'd be best for us to win like 0-1, 2 games and really just, get that top 2 or 3 pick and just like, because clearly it's not like we're going to compete this year. Like there's no way after watching these 4 weeks that we can actually say, maybe we'll turn it around and be a playoff kid. Like, no, we're not doing anything.
Like, I'm hard pressed to, like, we have the Lions we have the Vikings this upcoming week, but like, then it's the Bengals, then it's the Rams. We may be able to pull it off against the Eagles. I don't know what the Steelers. We got the I'm kind of hard pressed to find a game where it's like. I mean, we got the Falcons after Christmas.
You just look at how bad Chicago played a week ago, and Justin Fields had 68 yards, not even 70 yards passing. He had 68 yards, no touchdowns. I think he was like under 50%, and then he looked great last week.
Oh yeah,
it was like.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Well, I think, and then also too, like he knew he was going to be the number one option, right? Mm-hmm. Like he knew going in, so he's going to get it. So he actually had time to kind of prepare, which I think is a little bit different, kind of coming in, kind of halfway through a game, especially against the Browns defense, right? Like we're not the Browns defense. We're not Miles. We don't have Myles Garrett. We don't have those we don't have those guys.
No. Definitely not.
So I think it's a big difference, but he looked a ton better than what he did against when he came in.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I think that division is just going to shape out the usual, at least how it's been the last couple of years. Vikings and Chicago will fight for that middle area. Green Bay will probably win it, and we'll just be sitting there at the bottom like, what up?
Yeah, we tried.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. We're 4 games in, and I'm already like, well, this season's lost. Like, let's look forward to what we can.
It's a wrap, bro. Yeah. It's not like it was not like we're gonna run the table and win the rest of these games.
Yeah. I will say though, I hope they keep the coach. I'm not a fan of like you hire a coach, not even just him, just in general. Like when these sports teams, you hire a coach with all the best intentions, and you love them, and you're like, we're building for the future. You can't let a horrible season then like derail that and then start over and get another coach. Like,
well, because the thing is that right now I honestly don't think it's the wins and losses. It's like it's trying to put in a culture shift.
Yep.
Right, and that takes time to do that, and everybody understands like we just don't have the talent.
Yep. Clearly not. I wanted to I gotta shift gears, man. We didn't talk about it last week, but we gotta like discuss it at least, man. Like the John Jones thing, bro. Like that is just so like here's my take on it. Is, man, and it's the thing. Like I mean, I've made it clear since me and you we've been doing this since almost a year, January. my favorite. Him and Khabib probably like my favorite UFC fighters ever. I've given him every excuse, like, you know, with the other stuff before, the drugs and him being arrested for other weird stuff, like, you know, possession of firearms and stuff. I've never held it against him. I've always kind of just been like, whatever. Like, but on this one, man, like, I just like, he's got a lot of mental issues, man. Like, it's hard for me to stand by him now and be like, I'm still a John Jones fan. Like, assuming the reports are true, you know, like, and like, you're just like, whatever he was doing to his fiance, like, that just did not look good, man. And like, it was on the night he was inducted into the Hall of Fame for his fight with Gustafsson, man. It's like, you couldn't hold it together for 12 hours. Like, I don't know, man. It just did not look good.
It didn't. And what's scary in that situation is it's like, you know, the type of like pain he can inflict on somebody.
Yeah.
And how big of a human that he is.
Yeah.
Right. And so to go and think that like he, you know, physically like harmed a woman. And I'm assuming this is not like a woman that's like a trained fighter.
No, his fiance, let alone, you know, it's just...
Yeah, you know what I mean? So it's like, that is scary. It's disgusting, you know, for him to kind of act that way.
Just the reports, sad, man. Like, I don't know if you've read it, but it was like she went down to the whatever front desk of the hotel and just like broke down. Was like, I'm afraid to go back up to my room. Like, please call the police. Like, it's like, that's just like, and the kids were there. Like, man, I just like, there's no excuse for it. I know he clearly has a lot of mental issues, man. Like, I know he posted right after, like, I'm done with alcohol forever. But my thing with that is this, like, maybe that's true. Maybe like that's what it is. And you need to refrain from using alcohol. But like, when he posted that, it was almost like a deflection to me. Like, it's like, I think the post was, I had something along the lines of, I'm paraphrasing, but like, I've had too much trauma in my life to deal with alcohol. Like, it's out of my life now forever. Like, and it's like, bro, okay. But like, how about like just acknowledging what just happened and like, you know, apologizing to your what, like, you know, like, sure, that may have been what brought it on, but like, that's no excuse for what you did, man.
So you know what that sounds like to me though? You know, when you like have one of those like really drunk nights and you throwing up and you like just praying to God, like, God, please let me get through this and I promise I'm not gonna drink again.
Yeah.
That's what that sounds like, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you just like, let me just get through this shit and I promise I'm not gonna drink again.
Yeah.
Not to kind of add comedy to the situation, but that's just what it sounds like to me.
Is.
Like, you just like, please God, let me just get through this and I promise. And you like, in the back of your mind, you know, like, I'm not gonna stop drinking again. Like, I'm gonna drink.
Yeah.
What my question is that like, he has some very successful brothers. And my question is, at what point do they, seeing that this is happening to their brother, get involved and be like, look, bro, you got to chill out. Like, you have to calm down.
Mm-hmm.
You're making yourself look bad, and just, you know, and you're like, our family name is like, you have to chill out.
Yeah.
So I wonder if there's been some of those conversations from his brothers and just sitting him down like, bro, what's the fucking problem?
Yeah.
Like, exactly. Look what you're doing to yourself. Look what you're doing to your family.
Yeah. It's just not all right, man. All the way around. I don't like it. He just needs some kind of help, like whether it's therapy or whatever it is. And I know that's another thing too, that I think like a lot of people just in general, but especially males in our country, you know, it's like a very taboo thing and no one wants to talk about, you know, emotion and like getting to that point. But it's like, you clearly have a lot of mental issues, bro. You know,
it's even more like a taboo thing with black males.
Okay.
Like it's a situation where you're just kind of taught to like, suck that shit up.
Yeah. Be a man.
Man up.
Yep.
Right.
Exactly.
Man up. Stop crying. And it's like, you're not allowed to be emotional. And like, that's a really like very just like, that's those type of like that toxic masculinity shit that kind of goes on where you're not allowing yourself to feel, you know, to feel things, be emotional. Like that's just a part of being a fucking human being.
Exactly, man.
And so hopefully he gets the help that he needs. But the shit is sad, bro.
It is, man. And it is because like, every time I hear him talk, I'm just attracted to like he's very intelligent dude. Like he seems like he's very thoughtful. Like it's not like even with all the criminal past he's had, like he never seems like a thug or like some like, you know, dickhead. Like he's always just seems very intellectual, like a very thoughtful, intelligent person. I love listening to him talk. Fucking love watching him fight, man. One of the best fighters I've ever seen. But it's like, oh man, that just like it hurt, man, because like he's like one of my favorite UFC fighters ever, and it's like I don't know how I can like sit here now and be like, yeah, let's go, John. Like it's it's like you got to figure that out, man. It's just not okay. Yeah. Speaking of fighting, we got a big one this weekend, bro.
Man, that's what I was just about to say.
Yeah. So what's your prediction? What do you got?
I just don't see I don't see how Wilder's gonna be able to beat Fury, bro. Like I don't. What is he gonna bring different to the table?
Mm-hmm.
Right? After you completely went and pretty much wiped out everybody that was on your camp. What's changed to where there's something different that you're gonna be bringing that Fury is not gonna be able to control.
No, I agree with you, man.
And I don't know. I don't know. Now, the only thing that kind of worries me is that Fury's had a lot of personal shit that's happened, right? Like, didn't he just have a baby?
Mm-hmm.
He had COVID at one point.
Yep.
He had the whole thing with Anthony Joshua lined up, and then that got completely restripped. So, like, there's been a lot of personal stuff that maybe can get him distracted.
Yep.
So that kind of worries me, but I mean, he's a professional fighter, so I would hope that like he's just locked in. I don't peg him to be like Anthony Joshua, where it just kind of like has these lulls.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see that.
Yeah, I don't either. Like if I had to put money on it, I'd definitely say Fury. The only thing is just, again, Deontay is the hardest right hand I've ever seen, and ever out of all the fights I've ever watched, I've never seen any. So it's like, at any point, as long as he's not out of there, like he was out on his feet the last like 3 rounds of that last fight, and I didn't really think like Fury had to fear his power at all because he looked out of it. He had no legs.
Yeah.
But up until he gets to that point where he's battered up, like again, at any moment he could just land a blow and like cold clock you. So I don't know. I think Fury. It's just like with Wilder, I don't think there'll ever be a time I can be like Wilder's completely outmatched in this one, man, because it's like he's always got that eraser. So, but Fury seemed to have figured it out, man. Just fucking pressure him, just go right at him, and like what can he can't counterpunch.
That's the point. Like unless his boxing skills have like drastically improved, and he's able to stand the weight of like literally Fury putting his body on him, just wearing him down, because that's what he did that second fight. He literally was just going at him, putting his weight, hugging him.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And like you said, like that wears on you, that tires you. Your legs start to get a little weak, and then he's just at the attack.
Yep, exactly.
And for as big as Fury is, that motherfucker is fast. Like his hands are quick.
Yeah, I've never seen anyone that big move like that, man. It's absolutely crazy.
What is he, like 6'9", 6'8", 6'9", or something?
Wilder's 6'7", but he's 6'9", like 270.
That's a big fucking dude, bro. And he's got some hands.
He does, bro. And footwork. He's got it all, man. He's just a great boxer. I messaged Frank Garza last night, and he said he's got Fury winning comfortably. And he said, he goes, this is Fury's last fight. He's going to retire after this fight. And I was like, wow, really? He's like, I just have a hunch this is going to be Fury's last fight. And I was like, I hope not, because I want to see, an undisputed, unified fight. But I could see it too. In every interview, if you looked at this whole lead up to this coming fight, all Fury says is like, I don't give a fuck about legacy or titles or anything like that. This is just like what I do. I just fight. When I feel like it's time to stop, I'm going to stop. So it's like, who knows? Like,
I mean, he just had a kid. Like,
yeah. And he's held all those other belts before. Granted, he hasn't unified or been the undisputed, had all of them. But like, remember, he beat Klitschko, had all those belts that now Usyk has, Joshua had, and then retired with the depression and the coke issues and all that, and then came back, and now he's got the WC belt. So he's had every belt. He's done. He's never been beat. Like, who knows? Maybe he doesn't give a fuck about unifying all the belts. So I don't know.
That's probably irrelevant to him. I don't know. We'll see. And then plus, it's like, so does he go and fight Usyk, and then does it same like build up as it would if he was fighting Joshua?
Exactly, because they have a rematch. First of all, I should have brought that up. Usyk and Joshua have to fight again, so we don't really know what's going to go on there. But I would probably rather see Usyk, man, because he's like the Fury of the cruiserweight division, just such a tactical fighter. Like, I would probably say Fury just based on weight and heavyweight experience, but it's like what a chess match that would be, man. Like, holy shit. Like, you know, just neither of them are extreme like knockout artists. Like they don't rely on power. They're just great boxers. So it would just be
but do you think just like from the weight difference?
That's what I was saying. Yeah, I would have to go with Fury because of that. But I wouldn't be like 1,000% confident in it. You know, who knows?
Okay.
Who knows what would happen?
Okay.
But Fury's such a genius, man. Like you said, like he probably just used that right to his advantage and just know all I have to do is, you know, tie him up in the clinch, put that extra 70 pounds on him.
That's it. Just bear him down, bro, and wear him out.
Did I send you that video of like the message that they sent to each other like before the fight?
You have to send it to me.
Oh, dude, it was so fucking funny. Wilder goes on this like 30-second like you can tell he like playing it out like an eloquent little like Fury, like you better come with everything you got, and then it cuts to Fury and he's like, I'm gonna knock you the fuck out, you fucking prick. Like, how's that for a fucking message? Like, I gotta send it to you, bro. It's like he's the best, man. That dude just doesn't give a fuck. Like,
he's hilarious.
He is, bro.
So since we're on this whole boxing thing, and I've kind of mentioned about like Clarissa Shields. Mm-hmm. So I forget what podcast she was on. But so Jake Paul just signed Amanda Serrano, I think her name is.
Okay.
And he called her the GWOAT. And you know that Shields refers to herself as that, right?
Yep.
So it was asked, like, during the podcast, would you, they asked her, like, would she take a fight with Jake Paul? She said, no, I wouldn't. And they were like, why? She was like, because it wouldn't be fair. I would whoop his ass.
I was about to say, I think she'd probably beat the fuck out of him. But
like, bro, just imagine if that fought happened.
I can't. I think she'd win easy. It's one of those things, though, man, and it is just a complete societal thing. Like, it really doesn't mean anything. But like, when a man fights a woman, like, how do you win that as a man? Like, if you knock the chick out, you're gonna look like an asshole, and if you get your ass beat, you look like a fucking idiot. You know what I mean? So it's like,
I know, but but it's just like. You look at her skill as a boxer, right? Because I think she has, if I'm not mistaken, she has another MMA fight coming up here soon.
Yes, really soon. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But if you look at her skills as a boxer and you look at the guys that she fought, like her hand speed and her reaction time alone would give him problems.
Oh yeah, exactly. It's just being in the ring as long as she's been in the ring. You know what I mean? Doing it forever. He's been doing this 3 years, which is way better than an average person. That's why he's able to beat up on these UFC guys that don't do this every day, you know, or like an average person. But to any boxer, female or male, I don't know what the size difference is there, but still, I would assume he'd have a lot of trouble. He wouldn't be able to tag her clean. Definitely not.
No, I don't think so.
No.
But I think he would definitely have some problems with just her command of the ring and her hand speed, because I'm
ready for her to get back into it, man. Like, I really think in her mind right now, this is what I'm thinking. I think she's like, whatever, because she has no one to fight. She's cleared out basically women's boxing. She's waiting for Layla to finally be like, okay, I'm coming out of retirement.
Bro, Layla better not go back in that ring, dog.
Yeah, I think
Layla Ali is like damn near 50.
Yeah, I think she's in her 40s. Yeah, 45 or something. And no disrespect to her at all. Like, she undefeated, knocked out most people she fought. Clarissa's made this point, and I agree. Like, women's boxing has came so much further since she was doing it. You know, Layla Ali's competition compared to what Clarissa's fought is not nearly, and the age and the ring rust, like that would not be good. But I think that's what her strategy is, and I would definitely buy that fight. Like, that would be like the biggest fight in women's boxing history. That would be crazy, man. You know, she does have a lot of height and size on Clarissa. That's where it makes it interesting. You know,
she does. A lot of reach. But I think again, it just kind of comes down to like that hand speed and her ability to counterpunch. Like, Clarissa's fast.
Yeah, bro, she is, man. And you lose that as you don't fight anymore, man. Like, even if it's not by a lot, Layla would still knock out most people outside the ring. But like, when you're talking about getting back in the ring with a champion that does this regularly, yeah, that's tough, man. You know.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Speaking of Jake Paul, they were saying he might fight Tyson Fury's little brother. Did you see that? Tommy
Fury? Bro, he would. I saw that dude fight. He would get his ass whooped by dude, because he actually boxes. Like, he's really a boxer.
Yeah, exactly.
And that dude is in shape. Like, he don't want that problem.
No, that's the thing. I don't think any like seasoned boxer, whether he's popular or not, would give Jake Paul problems because any seasoned boxer's been doing it their whole life. You know, Jake's only been doing it 3 years, so
Yeah,
that's not gonna work.
he has he has the height advantage, the reach advantage. Like that would not be a fair fight. Like, I mean, he kind of. I'm not gonna like. Granted, um, for the most part, he commanded that fight um, against Tyron.
Mm-hmm.
But like there were a couple of sketchy moments where it was like, like
Yep.
he got caught and almost went down.
Yep.
Like, and
Exactly.
luckily he grabbed, he grabbed a hold of that
The rope.
the rope or whatever, because if not, he may have flew through that boy.
He really would have, man. And that's what's interesting too, because I've seen some highlights of it since, and I watched it. I'm like, God damn, like Tyron, like what? Like he looks so hesitant, but it comes down to even though he's a UFC fighter and he's done striking forever, like it's just a different thing. You get in a boxing ring, it's not the same sport. So and Jake's been doing it longer, I don't know where he goes from here though, bro. Like it's like for me, it's like you need to fight a boxer now, man. Like we're kind of getting over this bullshit, but he's smart and he's not going to do that because he knows you get beat. So who does he fight? Like
it's he may go after Masvidal or Diaz or go after one of those more striking guys, but I highly doubt he goes after somebody that's in boxing, even though Mike Tyson did say that he would fight one of the Jake Pauls or one of the, not the Jake Pauls, but one of the Paul brothers. He would fight one of them, and I was like, even at Mike's age, I don't know if it's I don't know if either one of them would want that.
No, you don't, man. Yeah, Claire, I don't know if it was the same podcast, but she just was on Hot Boxing with Mike Tyson. That's his podcast. And it was cool. They were showing like the backstage, like of them talking before the pod. And he was showing her she was asking him about some because obviously she grew up watching him. She's a big fan. Yeah. She was asking him about like how he threw certain combinations and stuff. And he was showing her like his technique. It was really cool. It's just
nice. That's what's up.
Yeah. It's interesting seeing that shit. I wonder what his plans is. Like, if he's going to keep fighting or is he back to...
I don't know. He made me scared. Did you see what happened to Evander?
That was bad, bro. Yeah. That's sad, man. Like, why would you let that dude in the ring? Like, not okay.
I'm like, what? Like, I understand that it's a bag. Like, you gonna get some money out of it, but bro, y'all gotta stop this, dog. Like,
yeah. When did this happen? Like, I
I
swear,
don't know.
All these retired celebrities, rappers, like everyone's trying to box now. Like
Lamar Odom with his sagging. Like, did you see that him and Aaron Carter fight?
Yeah, you sent it to me, bro. I was like, what the fuck is this,
what are y'all doing with this? Lamar Odom is literally sagging boxing shorts.
And then like Blueface, the rapper, was fighting, and it's like, dude, what is all this, man? Like, it's just absolute craziness, man.
I can't.
I don't know.
So we got to get into a little bit of this other NBA stuff.
Yeah.
And this whole COVID vaccination thing, especially with Kyrie.
Mm-hmm.
So New York has it required that you have to have at least one shot of the vaccination in order for you to enter any of these buildings.
Mm-hmm.
So Kyrie can't even go to practice. He can't go to any of the home games because he hasn't gotten a vaccination.
Yeah.
So if you're Durant, you're Steve Nash, you're Harden, what is your approach to that?
Right. Because I was about to ask you, is there any way of talking Kyrie Irving out of whatever he's thinking? Kyrie's first of all, you can make fun of Kyrie for some stuff, but he's very intelligent. Let's get that straight. Amazing heart. I don't always agree with him. He always he rubs me the wrong way, certain shit. But he seems like a dude that when he makes up his mind, his mind is made up, and the only one that's going to change that is Kyrie. So that's what's interesting about it to me. I don't know what anyone could say to really convince him otherwise.
Yeah, I don't know. And I think because they're boys, right? So
mm-hmm.
You want to be able to respect your homeboys.
Yeah, of course.
Right, their opinion and how they want to handle their health, right? Because ultimately it's your health that you're kind of putting at risk when you're getting this vaccination and everything. And so he may have some reservations. But then, that stuff starts to affect your pay too, right?
Exactly.
You're not playing games, you're not attending practice, and normally players get fined for that.
Yep.
Right? Or you're getting docked pay. So, like, just much like what the Sixers are doing with Ben Simmons, because they know he's not showing up, they took the money that they were supposed to pay him. I think it was supposed to be like $8 million or something like that, and they put it into an escrow account. So that way, anytime he misses anything, they just pulling money from out of that account because they know, like, either we got to pay it to him, but we know he's going to be missing stuff. So why are we paying it to him? And we just take that money out.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't, because I was about to say maybe the best argument would just be, for the sake of winning, but like, is Kyrie's mind? I don't know that Kyrie's number one priority in life is winning championships and like his basketball legacy. He seems like, which is totally fine. Like, no one requires you just because you're in the NBA to that be your number one priority in life. His seems like more charitable, philanthropic. Like that's where Kyrie's mind has always seemed to me since he kind of left LeBron. I don't know. I don't think, I think Kyrie loves basketball, but I don't think it's his, I don't think he has that Kobe, Jordan, like this is in like, I couldn't live without playing. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I think, you're right. I don't think it's that like he can't live without playing, but I think it's just that that's his release valve. Mm-hmm. That's how I view Kyrie as far as basketball. Like he uses basketball to help him to kind of help him break away from the shit that goes on in life.
Yep.
Right. So like he uses that as like a mental break from, whether it's COVID related stuff or social justice issues or whatever it may be. I think that he uses that as like that's his piece. Because I honestly think that I don't think that Kyrie, like I know that he took that break last year, but I don't think the break was from basketball. I think the break was from like dealing with the circus show that kind of revolves around being an NBA superstar. Yep. Right? Like just the news constantly being in your face, asking you all types of questions, and when you just trying to live your life. And I think that's what his break was on, not necessarily just needing a break from basketball, but just needing a break from all the media attention and like I said, the circus show that comes with being at the level that Kyrie is at and the attention that he draws.
Definitely. I agree with you. And that's a two-edged sword, right? Because I totally agree, and that's his right. Like if he wants to take that off, fine. The only thing about that rubbed me wrong was you can't insult the media, because the reason that the media and the media and us, the fans, are the reason you get paid tens of millions of dollars to do what you do. You know what I mean? Like if no one watched basketball, if it wasn't covered, like, yeah, you could play it professionally, but you wouldn't be in this position to, be a superstar and have all this money and do everything you do. So it's tough, man. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I have no idea what he's going to do. I don't know what they're going to say to him. Like, I don't know where Kyrie's mind ever is. Like, he's on his own wavelength, So
yeah. I honestly think like as the season starts to progress, I eventually think that he will. I don't think he'll completely get like both shots of a vaccination, but I think will at least get one just to be able to fit within like those New York protocols.
Yeah, maybe.
I do think that will happen. Because I think who was it? It was Andrew Wiggins was kind of there too, but then he got vaccinated.
Yeah.
I think Jonathan Isaac was the same, where he was kind of feeling that. If I'm not mistaken, I think he at least went and got a shot as well. So it's these other players that are starting to adjust their opinions, but it's like if you're upper management, like, do you have these conversations with him? Like, come on, Kyrie, like we need you, like, or do you just kind of fall back? Like if I'm sitting in the front office, I'm going to have a conversation with him and ask him, like, hey, what's your reservations? Like, are there questions? Can we bring in somebody? Can we bring in a doctor? Like, can we do the things that help put you at ease about getting this vaccination? Like, I would try to push it as best I can, because as far as being front office, you're losing money not having him there,
Mm-hmm.
and not to mention just that those. I mean, how many games did they play last year? Just with all three of them, what was it, like
13?
12? Yeah,
Yeah.
I was gonna say like 12 games total. And now you're really about to put a wrench in it because you can't even practice.
That's just the thing, man. Again, it comes down to, and it's not required. Like, again, like I understand that like it's not required of him to feel this way, but like I just don't think his number one priority is like winning basketball games. Like it's just, he's got other things going on. Do you think his best legacy-wise basketball guy, because talent-wise, I've said this over and over again, regardless of personal, I think he's one of the top 5 most talented players I've ever watched, Legacy-wise, though, winning success, like, do you think like his winning with LeBron was like the pinnacle, and now the rest of it's just kind of like he's kind of just riding off into the sunset? It just seems like after that, I don't know. It just seemed it was just a different person. I don't know how to explain it. Ever since he requested that trade, it just seems like it's been a night and day difference, like Kyrie Irving from like then to now.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's definitely that was the peak of it. Now we'll see what happens this year. But I don't think things can get. I don't think things are probably going to get at that same space that it was when he was with LeBron and him hitting that shot over Steph. Like it's just that comeback. Like I don't think it's that going to have that same feel or like just that same amount of like impact to like just the history of the game, right? Like that's one of those shots and what his performance, in that game, like that's something that you're going to remember.
Yep.
I don't know if he's going to be able to do that again.
Yeah, man. This is crazy. His biography on his career afterwards, 10, 20 years from now is going to be absolutely nuts just to kind of say, because I remember watching him at Duke, man. I was a huge Duke fan growing up. Like, and just like this dude, he had played like 13 games or something like that. His freshman, I was watching him like, who is this guy, man? He was just night and day above everyone else, Yeah.
Like you knew he was going to the league immediately.
Yep. And then balled out his first 2-3 seasons. Obviously the team sucked, but the season before LeBron went there, I remember he balled out in the All-Star game and won All-Star MVP. And I was like, dude, this dude is like on a whole other level. And then like it was off to the races when Bron got there, and it's kind of sad that didn't work out, man. Like I loved watching those two, and I believe like Bron loved him, and Bron's probably a hard dude to get along with, man. He brings a lot of. You brought up the circus. LeBron's brings that tenfold, and Kyrie probably just wanted to get out of that, but like I don't know. Ever since then, like I said, it's just been like a different. It seems like that was like we were just talking about the peak, and like now it's just he's on to other things. I don't know if his mind is really with like all I need is to win championships,
Yeah, I don't think he's at that point. I think he is like, well, I got my one.
Yeah.
And especially the way that they were able to do it.
Yeah.
It's kind of difficult to kind of top, that type of journey.
No.
But I do think he wants to be able to at least get one without LeBron.
Yeah, that's his big thing, man.
So I do think he wants to press that. Just again, like how important is that on the totem pole as far as like his list of priorities, like you were mentioning.
Yeah. It'll be interesting, man. I don't know. Again, I just have no idea what's gonna happen with him. I think if they're healthy and James comes back, how he, vintage James Harden, they're gonna be competitive without
regardless.
Kyrie, because before they got James last year, I said they were going to make the finals when it was just him and
KD. I mean, shit, they were on their way.
Yeah,
Kyrie don't get injured, bro. That Milwaukee series maybe goes 5.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, I was saying this time last year, before the James Harden thing was even they were my pick to win the East. I was like, with just KD and Kyrie, I was like, what a team, man. Like, that's such a good pairing, So they could do it without Kyrie. It's just with Kyrie, man. I don't see anyone beating him.
Well, the thing is, too, and somebody mentioned this. I think it was Channing Frye. It was either Channing Frye or Isaiah Thomas, one of the two. But they were mentioned, like, how do you manage, like, the guy that backfills Kyrie in that starting position?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yeah. Like, home games, you're automatically assuming, like, all right, well, Kyrie not going to be here. Whoever it is going to be starting.
That's
right?
so weird.
Mike James is starting. But then all of a sudden, it's a away game, like does that Kyrie start or does the guy that's been starting? You know what I mean? Like, does that person start?
How does it work in the playoffs, man? Like what's he gonna play
Right.
3 or 4 games if it goes to set? You know what I mean? Like that's crazy.
So it's just like that gotta affect people's rhythm. And then let's say like he does get that one shot, then all of a sudden just like, oh, sorry, Mike James, you gotta go. Like I know you've been starting for us, but Kyrie's back, so sorry.
Yeah.
Like that's a really shitty situation to be.
Exactly. Not good for the locker room, man. You know? I don't know, bro. It's gonna be an interesting season. I'm excited to see how it unfolds. That's for sure, bro.
I am too. I definitely am too.
I'm about to go make a drink and watch this new Dave Chappelle special on Netflix from Detroit, bro. Let's go.
It was good, bro.
I haven't seen it. Oh, I'm so excited, bro. I heard it came out last night. I was like, what? Or I saw it last night. I didn't know when it came out, but I was like, and it's filmed in Detroit. I was like, okay.
Yeah, it was.
Cool.
Yeah, I think, what was it? It was at the Fillmore.
Probably the Fillmore. He usually performs at the Fillmore.
Yeah. So. Yeah, all right, man. Well, enjoy it. And I'll be in fucking Billings, Montana this weekend.
Dude, I'm actually kind of jealous, man. I've always wanted to go to Montana. It's beautiful out there.
I don't think I want to go to a place where they got more horses than black people. So I'm a little nervous. I ain't gonna lie.
I mean, I knew nothing about Montana until I looked up pictures of it just a couple years ago. I was like, this is gorgeous. But
oh yeah, I bet you it's beautiful. But I'm nervous. I'm not gonna hold you up. I'm nervous.
Is it for work?
No, my homeboy just got a job out there, and so
is he black?
Yeah.
Is he having these same reservations, or is he just like yippee?
I don't know. If he's a little bit more in tune with like nature than I am, so I don't know.
Gotcha.
But he did say that he went and he looked at the numbers, and I was like, wow, okay, I'm just making sure you know where you at. Yeah, when they got more cattle than your own people, that's a little scary, bro.
Well, Montana's weird, bro.
When the lights come on.
Yeah. Montana's weird because you hike in Montana and you can just come across a grizzly bear. Like that's what's crazy. It's like, you know what I mean? Like this is a different world, man. Shit. All right, man. Well, you enjoy it. Take some pictures because I've always wanted to go out there. Looks beautiful.
For sure.
All right, man. I'll talk to you, all right?
Yeah.